So, Jaysin, the day after movement, we've had a chance to get some sleep, get a little recovery time in. What are your first impressions given a couple days?
It was an incredible event. Not just for the music, but also the amount of people that were there and how cool everybody was. It was just a really great time. We saw so many great bands and DJs, and it was just incredible.
Well, that was actually one of the things that kind of surprised me was how many DJs I saw wandering through the crowd, and they would just stop and talk with people, and I've never seen anything quite like that at a festival. So, who were you most impressed with from stage?
Ironically enough, on a Sunday at noon, Clark Warner was by far my favorite DJ of the night, of the entire weekend. It was just kind of like this, just simple, minimalist, like sonic bliss kind of stuff that I could listen to it all day. Light enough where it's not so thumpy, but you can still dance to it and get a lot done. It was an amazing set that he had.
What surprised me most probably was just that there was so much diversity from each stage. There wasn't a lot of overlap in styles. I tended to gravitate a lot more towards like the Torino Movement stage and the Made in Detroit stage. I found a lot of good stuff on both places. Where did you spend most of your time?
You just wandered around because everything was different. I spent it at the Beatport stage, and also
that was a good choice.
And then the Red Bull. I was just amazed by how many people came out in that little tiny area. But I just wandered all around. It was so nice. If you were not into what they were there, you wandered the next stage, and it's something else you found that you might like.
But that Red Bull stage, that was when Beardy Man came on.
Insane.
I've never seen anything like that. I mean, even we fortunately were able to get right in front, and Fatboy Slim got some really great pictures, good video.
Yeah.
And it was cool to watch, but it was nothing like watching everybody go nuts over Beardy Man. It was everything in the air, not just the hands. They were going nuts.
That was insane. It was someone I was looking forward to seeing. But the amount of people that just kind of rushed to that area, and just the amount of humanity, and then he got a nice little. Got the crowd way into it, and was using some language that the police didn't appreciate, and I saw them kind of wandering through the crowd, and I was like, uh-oh, but that was insane. I mean, I think out of anybody, that reaction was just amazing. And Fatboy Slim, I mean, the production value and I mean, he knows how to play a crowd. It's like ridiculous. I mean, insane.
What I know, a lot of the feedback was, geez, they're selling out, they're bringing in the mainstream acts, why are they doing that? And they do that because he was popular, and he got everybody down there. And, again, there was specialization in the stages, so I did a little walking around after, or during his set. Made Detroit was still packed. You still had plenty of people at Beatport, so it wasn't like they're saying you have to go see the mainstream act. But he added so much to the show. He certainly wasn't a distraction at all.
I didn't think so either. But the show was. I mean, it's like you need. It was really diverse, and it was kind of just popular music. I mean, mixing in like Beyonce and stuff like that. I mean, that's great. I mean, that brings everybody. Somebody hearing that, walking down Jefferson Avenue is going to hear that and be like, oh, what is that going on? It was a great show.
Especially when he's giving, when he's throwing the Supremes in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
The White Stripes.
Yeah.
Almost made you feel like, as a Detroiter, as somebody who's been, I've lived in the city for 11 years, had a lot of stuff happen, still choose to be here. Yeah. Like, man, that's why I stay, because there's that richness of the sound that comes out, because earlier in the day I'm standing there watching Detroit Techno Militia just tear it up with 5 DJs on the turntables, and then to hear him you hear Fatboy Slim paying a little homage to the city by his music selection. That was pretty impressive.
I thought so too. And what I love too is a lot of the people bringing in the classic things, bringing in Percolator or Good Life. I was just like, you hear that and you just smile, and that just brings back so many good memories. That's just such a good time.
The other thing that blew me away was how good the sound engineering was.
Yeah.
Because you've got stages like Made in Detroit here, main stage here, yeah, they were pointing different directions, but usually when you're walking through, you hear this weird wave of sound. There wasn't that wave, and you're right down by the speakers, and you're feeling the bass. It's thumping. You're having a little trouble catching your breath, but you can still hear the sound.
Yeah,
you can still hear the music. That was impressive.
Yeah, I thought that was very, very nice to hear. You know, in the media area where you know I was at sometimes, you know, you got a little bit of. I mean, they were back to back, so you got a little bit of play, but that's not where you're listening to music. But as soon as you turn that corner and get nearer to the stage, that other one is drowned out. You just hear the DJ playing at that stage that you're at, which, again, the sound was quality.
So, last question. What's that one thing that surprised you this year that you weren't expecting? What's that one thing that just jumped out at you?
I think that Clark Warner was just really surprising to me. It wasn't really on my radar, but it like completely blew me away. And I'm definitely going to be looking more into his stuff and see if he's playing around. Again, the diversity of the crowd, it was just a really, really nice experience. And I haven't been in a couple of years, and I was just really impressed. And I don't care if it's getting a little bit more corporate. It brings in a little better quality of equipment and a little bit of more diverse, set of DJs. So it was just a really great time. Weather was really nice, even though it was cooled down, it was hot. It was really good. It was such a good time.
Great working with you. Thanks, Jaysin.
Thank you very much.